Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to learn how to describe daily routines, and we'll practice your English listening skills at the same time. By looking at the habits of two completely different people, you'll pick up the exact vocabulary you need to talk confidently about your own everyday life. Let's dive right in. So here's our agenda for today's story. We'll start by contrasting two very different routines. Then we'll look closely at Ryan's rushed habits versus Christine's healthy ones, review some essential vocabulary, and finish up with a quick comprehension check.
Section 1. Two very different routines. You know, daily habits really do matter. A daily routine can either make you feel absolutely great or just terrible. What you do from the exact moment you wake up to the minute you go to sleep completely shapes your energy.
Let's meet Ryan and Christine. Ryan, well, he's living a pretty unproductive lifestyle. He feels overwhelmed, rushed, tired, and he relies way too much on fast food. Christine, on the other hand, represents a really healthy lifestyle. She feels hydrated, relaxed, energized, and eats great food. So why the stark contrast? Well, it literally all comes down to their daily habits.
Moving to Section 2, Ryan's rushed daily habit. Let's take a closer look at Ryan's daily actions to see exactly why he's so exhausted all the time.
Imagine this. Ryan's morning is incredibly stressful. At 6 a.m., his alarm goes off. But he's just too tired, so he hits the snooze button for a whole hour. He finally drags himself out of bed after 7 a.m. By 7:30, he's in a total panic, taking the dog out really quickly, throwing on his clothes, and completely skipping breakfast. By 7:45, he's rushing to the bus stop, and he's already way behind schedule. Now you might be wondering, why is Ryan so tired in the morning? Well, we have to look at his evening habits. When he gets home from work, the very first thing he does is play computer games for a few hours. Then, because he didn't plan ahead, he orders pizza or grabs some fast food for dinner. After that, he goes out to the bar with his friends, and get this, he doesn't go to bed until 2 a.m. So the real issue here is that his exhausting mornings are actually caused by those late nights. He's simply not getting enough sleep.
Section 3. Christine's healthy daily routine. Let's see how Christine's choices provide the perfect solution to that kind of rushed, stressful day.
Let's look at how she builds a better day. At 6 a.m., Christine wakes up right away. The very first thing she does is drink a big glass of water so she's hydrated. While Ryan is hitting that snooze button, Christine is taking action. At 6:30, she exercises for about 30 minutes. Maybe she runs, does yoga, or lifts some weights. Then she gets ready for work. By 8 a.m., she actually has enough time to sit down and eat a light, healthy breakfast, like oatmeal or eggs. She's calm, prepared, and full of energy. And, Christine's evenings are just as smooth as her mornings. Her steps are actually really simple. First, she leaves work a little early to beat the heavy traffic on the way home. Second, she stops by the store for fresh food and cooks a healthy dinner right around 7 p.m. Third, and honestly most importantly, she winds down and goes to sleep by 10 p.m. Because she goes to bed early, she gets a full night of rest, which gives her plenty of energy for the very next day.
So when Ryan explains his problems to her, Christine offers him some really practical tips. She tells him to go to bed before midnight so he can actually get some sleep. She says to skip the candy and soda at work to avoid those awful sugar crashes. She suggests packing a healthy lunch in the morning to save money and eat better. And finally, she tells him to meet friends on the weekend instead of making those late-night bar trips. Small changes, but they make a massive difference.
Okay, Section 4. Important routine vocabulary. To really master this topic, let's look at 3 key English phrases we use to describe these kinds of habits. Our first phrase is wiped out. If you're wiped out, it means you're very tired and you have absolutely no energy left. Think about Ryan. When his alarm goes off at 6 a.m., he feels completely wiped out. That's exactly why he just cannot get out of bed. If you work a really long day, you might text your friends and say, "I can't go out tonight. I am completely wiped out." Next up, we have out of shape. This basically means your body isn't strong or healthy, usually because you don't exercise and you aren't eating well. Remember, eating too much fast food and skipping the gym leads directly to being out of shape. Christine avoids this completely by exercising for 30 minutes every single morning.
And our third word is mindset. Your mindset is simply the way you think about things. It's your attitude. Having a positive mindset is absolutely crucial. It's the secret key to changing a bad daily habit into a healthy one. If you have the mindset that you can improve, just like Ryan wants to, you're going to start making better choices.
All right, Section 5. Comprehension check questions. I'm going to ask you 3 short questions based on the story we just went through. I want you to try to answer them out loud to build up your speaking confidence. Ready? Let's go. Question number 1. Why does Ryan usually sleep in past his alarm? Take a second and say it out loud.
Let's try question number 2. What time does Ryan normally get out of bed? Speak your answer out loud right now. Okay, the correct answer is, he normally gets out of bed after 7 a.m. His alarm rings at 6, but he hits that snooze button for a whole hour.
And our final question, number 3. What time does Ryan get back home after seeing his friends? Go ahead, say it out loud. Excellent! The answer is, he gets back home after midnight. That terrible evening routine is exactly why his entire next day is ruined. As we wrap up this explainer, the big takeaway here is simple. Change your schedule one step at a time. Don't try to fix the whole shebang at once, or you're just going to get overwhelmed. Start small, just like Christine advised. Which brings me to a question for you to think about today. What is one healthy daily habit you're going to start practicing today? Really think about it, and then make it happen. Thanks so much for hanging out and learning with me today, and keep practicing your English.